Hello, hello, hello. Another Monday it is. Have you ever noticed that you can hear one old song and then suddenly you're back in high school? Or one smell and you're in grandma's kitchen again? Or for you hockey guys, one hockey goal and you're 10 years old again? Our minds are quite amazing. Actually, they're like gardens. Whatever we water grows. Whatever we rehearse gets stronger. Now, here's the funny part. Most of us would never intentionally plant weeds, right? Yet sometimes we'll spend hours watering worry. We'll replay old hurts, imagine worst case scenarios, or tell ourselves stories that haven't even happened yet. And no wonder the weeds grow. In the good book of Matthew, Jesus says to a large group of some might call misfits, "You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world." Think about that. He didn't say you might become the light. He said you are. Ordinary people living ordinary days, capable of extraordinary impact. Not because we're famous or because we're perfect or because it's every smile that we give, every encouraging word, every act of kindness, every honest conversation, every little bit of do some goodery shines. That's why. And light has an amazing habit. It spreads. So maybe this week, instead of asking, what's wrong with this world? Or thinking of ways that something can go wrong about it, ask, what kind of light am I bringing into it? What can actually go right? Because here's what I've learned. Joy is contagious. Hope is contagious. Positivity and optimism are contagious. They are really contagious, as is kindness and gratitude. And thankfully, see what I did there? So is laughter. Yes, indeed. In hockey, and probably the same for soccer or water polo or other sports where you have a goalie, the coaches will say you better have a short memory because if you keep replaying those goals, you're gonna probably let more in. Am I right, Mike? Yeah, even for a Leafs fan, yes. So maybe life is like that too. We don't control everything that happens to us, right? But we can get into a place where we are better, and get those pucks out of the old net, so to speak, right? Feed the saves, and be the goalie that we're meant to be. And, just always look for the hope and speak life and expect good and be generous and be kind, Shine that light, shine your light. Because when enough people do shine together, there's a pendulum of critical mass that swings. And then a shift hits the fan, and extraordinary things happen together as one in synergia. We can do this. What do you think? Can we? Can we really do this? I believe we can. Have yourselves an awesome week. Lead with love. Cheers and ciao.